Hello, my name is Veronica and welcome into the Learning Lab. In today's lab, I'd like to share with you what I learned at the recent Stamp and Scrapbook Expo in Chantilly, Virginia, this time with art impressions. Come on in and let's get started. When registration opened up for this 2-hour class, I jumped on it because I wanted to learn all I could about watercoloring the AI way. And I'm glad I did. The class was very beneficial and I was able to ascertain where I was going wrong in my watercoloring attempts. We got this informational sheet, and on here it just shows you how to interact if you're doing the grasses, fillers, vines, everything. Also on here were all of the instructions for the class that we took. Each stamped image that we received was here, and we really didn't refer to this because Kendra led this workshop and she was so awesome that we really didn't need to look at it. All we had to do was look at what she was doing on the document camera and just follow her steps. So starting out, we did get to practice some, and this is my practice sheet. We practiced how to do the grass and how to draw out the lines. The same thing with the flowers. And when you apply those basics to all of the things that you're doing, you're probably going to be okay. So let's get on to the first card that we did. I did not put together any of my cards in class. This class was at the end of the day for me. It was from 4 to 6 o'clock. I had been going strong at a class since 8:30 that morning, and when this class was done, I was done. But this is what the finished product could look like. We got all of the guts in an envelope to make that happen. But here is my wheelbarrow. I personally thought it turned out pretty well. I was pleased, and one thing that Bonnie and Kendra always emphasize is that you sign your work, and so I signed my work and I used the V here. Pretty cool. So then the next one that we did was this uber cute little birdhouse. And I have to tell you that the woman sitting next to me, when she did the shingles on her birdhouse, they were much lovelier than mine. So I wanted to try to copy what she had done, but I wasn't too successful on it. But again, I'm pleased with the results that I got on this. And the thing about handmade art, it's your art. And you can be pleased with whatever you did. And one of the tips that we got from Kendra is when you do it the first time and you may not be that happy with how it came out, just leave it and go back the next day and take a look at it. You're probably going to be more excited with the results that you got. And if you look at that, this is pretty good. Now this next one that we did, it's a clay pot or a milk jug, whichever way you want to go with it. And my results were less than stellar in my own opinion. Here are the card components that went with it. I will get those put together at another time. This one I'm going to have to work on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on it. I think my white in the middle is just way too white. So I'm gonna have to bring in my color a little more and tone it down some. But I did learn a lot about the technique on that one. So that's that. And then the last card that we created was this wintry door. And for those of you living in the cold states, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, your doors probably look like this pretty much a good time of the year. These are the card components that came with it. Everything was individually packaged, and that was really helpful. And here's my door. I didn't get to quite finish it. As you can see up in the wreath, I didn't get to continue taking the color up through the door, but I thought this was really neat, and I can combine it with some other elements I have if I really wanted to jazz or pop up that scene. So that was really, really cool. Now, the thing about taking classes is I try to take those classes that are going to give something back to me, and Art Impressions did not fail me in that in the least bit. For taking the class, we got this exclusive set of stamps, and you can only get it if you take the class. It's not available for sale anywhere. And Bonnie has already done a video using these, and it's really cool. So if you just take the techniques you learn in the workshop, follow her video, you're going to get something spectacular. So I really, really enjoyed this 2-hour class. It was well worth it. And getting this exclusive stamp set, that was just the icing on the cake. So I got a 30% off coupon from them to use in their store, and you know me, I had to go in and use it. And one of the things that I got was the staples that's recommended for working with art impression stamps. And this is the flower set. Let me turn that around. And these are the ones that you get, and they are great fillers. And these are all the things that are included in there. If you're going to get into stamping with art impressions watercolor technique, these are essential. And then the other one I got is the foliage, another essential. So this one contains your grasses and some of your leaves and branches, which I thought was really cool. And additionally, if you took the class, you got 10% off on your other purchases. And so I had to go with my girlfriends. Yep, my beauties and cuties. And this one is just, they're having so much fun. I had actually narrowed it down to 3 from which I needed to select. And the young woman in the booth, I said, choose one. And she says, it's so hard. I said, I know, that's my problem too. But right now, I need you to choose one for me, please. And she liked all 3. She said, but this one is so much fun. And I agreed. I slapped it on the counter, paid for my purchases, and left. And then the final one that I got was this one. Now these are all cling, foam mounted. This one I had to get. It just evoked in me, I don't know, it stirred a feeling in me that would not allow me to leave this on the shelf. When I look at these women with their arms around each other, looking off into the future, reminiscing about the past, thinking about what they're going to do next, it could cover a myriad of things. And I just fell in love with this stamp. Sisters, girlfriends, neighbors, colleagues, it runs the gamut. I love this one. And as a special for shopping, I got this cute stamp as a freebie. That was my experience with AI watercolor workshop at the Stampin' Scrapbook Expo in Chantilly, Virginia. Had a great time. Thank you for coming and being there. It was lovely. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and click that subscribe button, so when I come back and color in these cuties and beauties, you'll be there to go along with me every step of the way. As always, thank you for joining me today. Please remember to check out my blog at inkollusions.blogspot.com. Until then.